Alright, what's up, YouTube? Today, since Bernie Sanders dropped out yesterday, I thought it is finally time to make my very first 2020 presidential election video. So, this will certainly not be the last, but this is my first video predicting the presidential election. I have not looked at the outcome of what I'm going to show you yet, so it'll be a surprise for me, just like you watching. So let's get to it. So I'm not going to do like lean, likely, till. I'm just going to do solid blue, solid red in this video. I don't want to get too down into the nitty gritty because it's still April and we don't know the full story in every single state. So I'm going to start with the safe states for the Democrats: Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, New Mexico, Illinois, New York, Virginia, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. And some will argue that New Hampshire is a purple state. It is a toss up state, but I genuinely believe it will go for Joe Biden in 2020 safely. Now for the safe states for the Republicans: Alaska, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, the Dakotas, all of Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. Iowa is a toss up state, but I think it'll go for Trump. It went for Trump by a very large margin in 2016, and Hillary Clinton was actually pretty popular in Iowa, and it still went for Donald Trump by a large margin, so I think it'll definitely go red in 2020. Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, South Carolina, and that's it for safe Republican states. So right now it's 132 to 204. Now we're going to go into the toss-up states. We're going to go West Coast to East Coast. So let's start with Nevada. I think Nevada is a toss-up state, but I think it will go for Joe Biden in 2020. Joe Biden is leading in Nevada by 3 points, but it could go for Donald Trump because Bernie Sanders won by a very large margin in Nevada during the 2020 Democratic primary, and it only went for Hillary Clinton by 1.5 points. So it definitely is a toss-up state, but I think it will go for Joe Biden. Now, Arizona is interesting. It's traditionally a very Republican state, home of John McCain, and it went red by 4 points in 2016, but I think it will go blue in 2020. Currently, Joe Biden is leading by only 1 point, but in 2018, Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema won in this state by 2 points against Martha McSally. So I'm going to send Arizona blue. Colorado is technically still a toss-up state, but I think by 2024 it will be a solid blue state. I think Cory Gardner will not win re-election. He is the Republican senator from Colorado, and I think this will be an all-blue governor and senator state by 2024 and in 2020. Now, Texas is interesting. Traditionally, like one of the most or the most conservative states in the nation, but now, after the Beto O'Rourke movement, it is now considered a toss-up state because of the high Latino population in Texas. So I think it will go for Donald Trump in 2020, but in 2024 it could go either way. Now, Minnesota is a traditionally Democratic state. It's home of Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith, both Democratic senators, and Ilhan Omar is from Minnesota. So even though it is looking more and more conservative each election year, I still think Minnesota will go for Biden because of the strong campaigning Amy Klobuchar is doing for Biden in Minnesota, especially. I know I said I was going to go west to east in this video, but I'm going to actually leave the Rust Belt open until the end of the video. So let's hop down to Georgia. Now, Georgia is a very traditionally conservative state, but Stacey Abrams, a Democrat, almost won the governorship in 2018. So Democrats think they have a chance at snagging Georgia, maybe in the future, but I think Georgia, for right now, will go red. Very similar in North Carolina. It went for Trump by 4 points, but it could go blue. I put Biden Harris for the Democratic ticket. It's not confirmed yet, but as of right now, I think Kamala Harris has the best chance of getting the vice presidential seat on Biden's ticket, but it's not confirmed yet, and I will obviously do other videos with other vice presidential candidates. But anyway, in North Carolina, it could go blue with Harris, bringing out a large African American turnout, but I think it will also go red for at least one more year, like Georgia. Now, down in Florida, this is a traditionally purple state. You never know how it's going to get called on election day, but I personally think Florida will go red. It elected Ron DeSantis, a very, very, very conservative governor, has 2 conservative senators, and went for Trump by 1.5 points. So I think Florida will go red in 2020. Now, up in Maine, this is also a traditionally purple state, but it is trending more blue, so I think it will easily go for Joe Biden. Now, down to Ohio. Ohio values itself as traditionally a make or break state. It was a purple state, but after 2018, we are seeing that Ohio is trending very, very red. It went for Trump by not a very close margin, and Ohio has elected a conservative governor, Mike DeWine, and very popular incumbent Sherrod Brown almost lost re-election in 2018 to a Republican. So I think Ohio will go for the Republicans with no problem. Now up to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is trending purple. It was traditionally Democratic, but now it is trending red in some areas. It went for Donald Trump by 1 point, and I think Donald Trump can bring out the white working class voters in Wisconsin just like he did in 2016. So I think Wisconsin will go for Donald Trump. So it is very close. It's 258 to 244 right now. It's all down to 2 states. Let's go over to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is the home state of Joe Biden. It is trending red. It did only go for Donald Trump by 1 point, and Hillary was very unlikable to many Pennsylvania voters. And Pennsylvania just elected a Democratic governor in the past years. So I think for at least 2020, maybe not 2024, but for at least 2020, Pennsylvania will go blue. So it is 258 to 264. It all comes down to Michigan, and Michigan went for Trump by a very, very close margin. Similar to Pennsylvania, Hillary was a very unlikable candidate to many Michigan voters. She ignored the Rust Belt in campaigns, and Michigan has currently 2 Democratic senators and a Democratic governor. So with that said, I think Michigan will go blue for Joe Biden. So now you have 258 to 280. Joe Biden has the majority. As of April, I think Joe Biden will win the 2020 election, but obviously things could change, and we'll just have to see. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and follow on Instagram. Thank you.